We have an eclipse coming this week. What's that going to do to us?
We do. We have an eclipse on Thursday coinciding with the full moon. It's a lunar eclipse. It's a prenumbral eclipse, so it's not a total eclipse. But you can see it in South America, which I think is kind of cool because that's where the Olympics are being held, and eastern part of the United States. So eclipses always bring matters to completion. And these are the companion eclipses that started out in the spring. So obviously things you've been working on since the spring can come to be during this eclipse on Thursday, but specifically for each one of the 12 signs, because the moon is in Aquarius, the sun is in Leo. For Leos, it's about them being in the spotlight for one reason or another. It's about the universe taking a hard look at them and saying, okay, here's where you reap the fruits of your labors, kind of a thing. And Leos will have the hammer about making money with it, so I would find a way to capitalize on that if I was a Leo. But I'm a Virgo, and so this is going to be one of those eclipses that require a lot of hard work and not a lot of gratification. It's sort of like you get to do a lot of work and promote someone else or do something good for someone else, and your reward will come later on at the solar eclipse in September on your sign. For Libras, it's about reaching for the brass ring, but it's about finding a way to take your creativity and put it to work for you. Not just in a fun way, but to find a way to take your creativity and help you reach a long-standing hope, wish, goal, or objective. For Scorpios, it's in the 10th house of career and public standing, and Scorpios have something going on at home that has been really kind of distracting them, and they need to put their focus back in the outer world rather than the inner world. They need to take care of it, but not to give as much attention to it as they have been giving lately, because their career and public standing needs some attention. For Sagittarians, it's in their 3rd house of day-to-day living, so the pace of their day-to-day living picks up, and Sagittarians have been sorely put upon. Saturn's in their sign, Mars is in their sign. They're trying to get stuff going. They've been trying to get it going since January. This eclipse says you actually get to get it going and get it off dead center, but it's going to require short distance and short duration travel to bring that about. For Capricorns, this eclipse is in their 2nd house of money and their 8th house of other people's money. And they're going to have to find a way to increase the amount of money they make without getting a second job. I'm not quite sure how they're going to do that. I don't know whether it's going to be something that they create, but the focus for them this entire month is on money and how to make more of it or have more of it at the end of the month. For Aquarians, the moon is in their sign, and so Aquarians that are in partnerships are going to find that their partners are making demands on them, and the Aquarian's just going to go, no. And no, and then oh no is what their answer is going to be. So, because it's more about the Aquarian getting what the Aquarian wants. For Pisces, it is in their 5th house of let's have a good time. Actually, it's in their 6th house of work and responsibility. So for them, it's a matter of doing a job to the best of your ability, taking some pride in the job, but not expecting to get a lot of recognition for your efforts. It's sort of like the Pisces is going to know that they're the ones that did a really good job, and they're the ones that made it happen without any kind of acknowledgement from the rest of the world, which is crummy, but Pisces should be used to it by now. For Aries, this is a fun eclipse for them. It's in their 11th house of hopes, wishes, goals, and objectives, and its opposite sign is amusement, sports, pleasures, fun, anything entertaining, love affairs, anything having to do with having a good time. The Aries is going to go sign me up for that. So if they're single, they'll attract someone. If they're married, that goes very well. For Tauruses, they just need to go home and rest. They have a huge amount of responsibility falling on them, and they're being torn in 2 different directions. Their inclination is to want to stay at home, but the outer world is dragging them back into it, and they have to find a way to balance those 2 things and find out which one is more important for them, which is going to bring them the best reward. And I got to tell them it's more the professional world rather than the personal one.
Okay.
So I direct that to your wife who's starting a Christmas wish.
She'll be listening.
So, for Geminis, it's in their 9th house of important legal matters, educational matters at a distance. You need to call in a professional, and whatever that advice that professional gives you, to Geminis, I say, take that advice because it's good advice. And then for Cancers, the last sign, it's in their 8th house of money falling out of the sky on them. Cancers, if I was a Cancer, I'd buy a lottery ticket this week because it's unearned income. It's just money kind of coming from a source that you didn't expect, not through the fruits of your labor, and maybe somebody who owes you money would pay it back, which would be probably the first in history. So that's tomorrow's news today for the 12 signs of the zodiac with our lunar eclipse this Thursday in the sign of Leo and Aquarius.
Thank you, ma'am. See you next week.
Always a pleasure.